Hello, and welcome to Local Listens. On this week's episode, we invite Wyatt Bender on to talk about how playing music in school and how going to a high school of arts helped him with his music. Other local musicians are mentioned throughout the episode, and you can find links to those musicians in the episode description.
Welcome everybody to Local Listens. I am Bailey from Bailey Ukulele,
And I am Shane from Sanatorium Hill.
and today's guest is Wyatt Bender, my
Hey, what's up,
hometown
everybody?
homie. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm excited to have you on. Like me and Wyatt went to high school together, so
Yeah.
there's some stories we can tell you that may scare you. Just saying.
Spoilers, it all just started going downhill after that.
Yep, exactly. When we met, it all went downhill. Why don't you let everybody know what instruments you play in your little project and kind of what it's all about, man?
Well, I mainly play guitar. I've been playing ever since I was like 10 years old. In my music, I do like pretty much like a mixture of like some guitar and into like a lot of pop sounds into it. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Cool.
with the mainstream deal that is going on these days.
Right. Hey, you got to appeal to the audience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's how everybody like starts screaming at your house. Oh my God, it's you! But
Yeah.
hell yeah, that's really cool because I think nowadays a lot of people are starting to get into the pop thing, and the thing I like about your music is that you're doing the mainstream pop, but you're also doing it in a way that's you, where like I can hear the Brian Setzer and the Drake Bell, I can hear that in the pop music, where it's
Mhm.
not just pop exactly, it's like a branch of pop that you're making your own kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
think that's really cool.
I don't know. You said
Yeah.
Drake Bell, and that just like threw me back like 10 years.
Yeah, because I grew up on Drake and Josh and the Amanda Show when he was still on those shows, and I didn't know that he was doing music around the time. Like I was, it was his second album that I heard first, and then I had to get onto his first album, which was Telegraph,
Right.
and which he just released a year before his second album.
Whoa.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And the first one he did was like with Backhouse Mike, and Backhouse Mike, he's like a good friend of his. But yeah, that's technically Drake Bell pretty much somewhat got me into music, but I've been listening to music my entire life.
Yeah.
But
I went over to Wyatt's house yesterday and he was showing me his record collection. And then we got to the end, he goes, and now to show you my pride and joy. And he pulls out the Beatles Abbey Road, and I might have cried and freaked out a little. Because
That's
that is a
awesome.
vinyl I want to have someday. Anyway, all right. So let me know, how many bands have you been in throughout your days? Like how many projects have you done?
well, I think I would have to go all the way back to middle school because I wasn't really officially in a band, but I was actually in band at school.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
And
There you go. You did the drums,
and
yeah? In band?
yeah, I was in the percussion section, and
Oh yeah.
and it was technically me and a couple of my friends. We thought it was like, hey, we all like playing drums. Might as well get into band.
Right. Hey, I got in the
And
band. It was great.
yeah, I actually really enjoyed it until I had to move up to Gig Harbor because my mom was getting remarried around the time.
Got it.
Uh, but yeah, it was like sixth grade and seventh grade was when I was in band. But for some odd reason, I got stuck onto the xylophone most of the time.
Ah, I always got
And
stuck on the cymbals. I'm with you, man.
I would say I hated the xylophone though,
Yeah.
because my friend was like, "Hey, you're not that good on the drums. Let us do this." And I'd be like, "It was my idea the first time.
Right. Come on
I
now.
gave you guys
Yeah.
the idea.
Right. Okay, so you
It should be
started
the
a
other way
band.
around."
So you started a band. Weren't you in a band with Mark though? Weren't you and Mark in a band for a minute? Or am I thinking of
Um,
somebody else?
no, you think about someone else. A good friend of mine named Sebastian.
Sebastian, that was it. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah,
of. Yeah.
because I was going to Truman while he was going to Mason though.
Right.
But we were in our own little band. Like I was playing guitar, he was playing drums,
Hell
and
yeah.
from time to time he will play bass as well. And in our little band was called the Resistance. And technically around that time I was like in a total like how everybody was in middle school going through an emo phase,
And yeah,
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Shane, I don't
Like,
know if you and I ever left our emo phase.
I can't talk about that on recording.
Right. Thank you.
but yeah, for me and him, it was like My Chemical Romance,
Right.
Green Day, Panic at the
Yeah.
Disco, and also some like heavy metal and shit. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so you were in the band with Sebastian, and then you got into high school and totally ruined your music career by hanging out with me. So way to go, Wyatt.
well, I wouldn't say ruined, but
Well,
more like
we weren't that good. Just saying.
deplenished.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we were in a band together.
It's just horrible. It was horrible.
It was awful. We were called the Wyatt and Bailey Project for like 3
For at
months,
least like
and
a
then we
few
decided
months.
that band sucked. That band name sucked because we were
Yeah,
trying to
we
have
were
a
like,
placeholder band name like every band does, you
because
know.
it was because we couldn't think of a good name, so we just went
Right.
with Wyatt and Bailey Project.
That's what I'm saying. I think every band that's ever existed has had like a placeholder name. It's a name that they start out with, but they know they're not going to use it forever, like Sweet Children, or like for Maroon
Mhm.
5, it was Chorus Flowers. They were Chorus Flowers at the beginning, and then they were like, no, we got to be Maroon
Yeah.
5. Like
Oh yeah.
you always have another name. I know
Mhm.
I think for Sanatorium Hill, you guys were just Sanatorium Hill, right, the whole time.
We started like it was just me, so it just went by my name.
Got it. Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
kind of how Bailey Ukulele went. It went Bailey Rao, and then from the beginning, and then it turned into Bailey Ukulele. But yeah,
Yeah.
and then White and I changed our band name to Bender and Company, and we thought we were cool.
So, are there any like videos or recordings or anything?
Oh yeah, there's if
Oh
you
yeah.
go online and go to our band page, there's probably a video of us playing Beach Party. There's probably a video of us doing Billie Jean, and there's probably a photo somewhere of us doing Finale. For some reason, I cannot find the Finale video. I don't know what happened to it, but our friends
Yeah.
playing it up on stage and sang
Hmm.
with us, and that he screamed the whole time. It was awesome.
So I'm gonna have to look that up because
Yeah, you will. I'll send. Well, for those of you listening at home, maybe we'll post some links if we can find them.
yeah.
We'll let you see them, I guess. And then we also recorded our international super hit Beach Party.
I would say
That
that was a total bop. Like
it was.
back in high
That was
school.
the best song we had. And when you watch the video, we had the whole place singing. It was insane. We had a
Damn.
mosh pit and everything.
Damn.
Like
That was
my
our
first
senior
mosh
year.
pit.
Yeah. And then
It
we
was
went back the next year to
because
Camp Showcase.
yeah, it was Camp Showcase, and you actually told me this story yesterday when we were just hanging out
Yeah.
that it was it Derek or was it I think it was Derek,
Yeah.
and saying that we couldn't do the
Yeah.
Camp Showcase.
Explain Camp Showcase for people that don't know. I just realized we didn't explain that.
Okay, so went to was called School of the Arts
Yeah.
here in Tacoma, Washington, and and every year right before school even starts, we go to a retreat to this camp that is just outside of Olympia, I think it was,
Yeah, it's called Black Lake.
and normally a Bible camp. We
We
go
turn it
there,
into hell for at least 3 days.
yeah, for
But
at least 3 days from Wednesday until
they do it right up until the weekend, and then we have the weekend, and then we actually start school the next week.
like we start school the next Monday.
Yeah. I gotta
Or
say,
Tuesday
that
or
is
whatever.
probably the best experience I've ever had in school was at camp.
Yeah,
It changed my life on music. Like literally, I don't think I would have been playing ukulele today if it wasn't for going to Soda.
I went to 2 different high schools before Soda.
That's right.
I,
Yeah.
I went to Peninsula High School up in Gig Harbor first, and I was in freshman football team, and I was in the best shape of my life until I gained a lot of weight this year. So then I end up moving back here in Tacoma, and I got myself enrolled into a stadium for the rest of my freshman year. I remember the day that the guidance counselor over there at stadium told me that he sees me more as an artistic kind of person,
Okay.
and he definitely can tell that I do not fit into a school like I do not
Mhm.
fit into those kind of schools. It's because my personality shows out to a lot of people, and so he told me that how about you try out Tacoma School of the Arts, and I never heard of the school at all
Yeah.
until he told me.
Hell yeah.
And so I told my parents and what about the school, and I gave them the whole it was like it's this, it's that, and everything. and they were like, you know what? Let's put them through it. And like the process of getting to soda was you had to apply and have a portfolio of what
Right.
you can do artistically.
Damn.
And
Yeah, it's cutthroat, man.
yeah, that was.
They don't do that portfolio thing at Soda anymore.
They don't?
No, literally, you can just say, I want to go to Soda, and they'll be like, what do you do? Oh, I dance. And then they're like, oh, okay, come on, let's go.
Wow.
It was like, if you didn't have your art form down to a T, you wouldn't get in. It was like college. Like, you had to wait for an acceptance letter to get in.
Yeah, we were the last ones to wait.
Yeah.
And then the next year, it was like that all went
Yeah,
away.
the next year they ruined, no offense, because I do have some friends that were from that class, Alex included.
Yeah.
But the next year they decided they were going to open it up to freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
And so they brought in all kinds of freshmen, which they didn't have before. You had to be a sophomore to go.
Yeah.
And that kind, no offense to that group, because like I said, my friend Sammy, my friend Alex, Sean, everybody, they're good
Mhm.
friends of mine, but it just kind of ruined it, honestly. There was more
Yeah.
graffiti. The cops showed up once outside of the school to arrest one of the kids.
When I heard about what was going on with soda, I was like, that kind of breaks my heart. Like,
Right.
but yeah.
But yeah, we did the camp. So we do this thing. It's called Showcase. It happens once every month on a Friday. And we have everybody coming into the Urban Grace Church, and you get to showcase your art. So you can sign up. It's kind of like an open mic. So it's like an
Yeah.
open mic, and you showcase what you got, whether it's dancing, whether it's singing, whether it's visual art, whether it's theater, whatever you got, you can showcase it. Comedy. I know some people, I know Dakota would always do poetry and comedy. And so they do it at camp. And I think the one at camp is even better than the one at regular showcase because it gets more
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot
we
more
were
wild
so
at
bummed
camp.
because it was our senior year and we couldn't do camp showcase. So thankfully we had a member of our band. We were a 3-piece, and thankfully our third member happened to be a freshman. So he was still going to Soda. So
Mhm.
technically we were allowed to play camp showcase only because he was still going there. And I am telling you, the minute they called our name and we stepped up on stage, there was not a single person sitting down. Everybody rushed to the front of the stage.
That's awesome.
Wyatt could have crowd surfed and it would have worked and everybody would have caught him. Unlike my shows where there's 3 people and I still try to crowd surf. No, it was fantastic. But yeah, that's kind of how our high school experience went with Bender and Company. Thankfully, I'll let you guys know we are not a band anymore, so you don't have to listen to our shitty music. It's okay. But
because only one song of ours is on Spotify right now under my name, because I was
know,
like, you know,
bro, I saw that. Dude, I went on Amazon Music the other day and Spotify, and I saw Beach Party by Wyatt Bender. I said, did he re-record it? And then I listened to it and I went, oh no, what did he do?
I was listening to it again, and like recently, right before I decided to release it, like officially. And right now, after talking to you yesterday, I was like, now I kind of regret releasing that.
So how
What
many
were you gonna say,
streams do
Shane?
you have?
Oh gosh.
Surprisingly, not as much.
Yeah, right.
Which shows that it sucks.
Yeah, you know, we're really popular.
Like, yeah, we're popular in France.
Yeah, right. The only time
it's
you'll hear
hard.
Wyatt and I play music together again is at the 10-year. We decided at the 10-year reunion, we'll come back and we'll play Beach Party one more time.
Yeah.
So
And
you have
right
to wait
after
3
that,
more
we're
years,
done.
people. Right.
And also that one time when you and I went down to Portland, we did that like 5-song concert.
That's right. I forgot
Yeah.
all about that.
Yeah, and that was right after when we were helping out at the PDX Farm Fiesta.
Oh, bro,
we
that
were-
was the best festival ever.
Oh man, that was like, I can't remember the bands, but I do remember Jasper T.
Dude, Jasper T, man, that guy,
Mhm.
he does stuff that I was like, whoa, this guy can
Yeah.
do some shit.
And I still
Which-
follow him up to this day.
Yeah, me too, man. Fox in the Law, Jasper T.
Yeah. Fox in the Law.
What was
That's what I remember.
Soul? What was that? Soul
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, it was Soul something. I can't remember, but
Holy
I still
shit.
have it. It's crazy, man. No, it was like this
Like-
camping festival, you know, and it was on this guy's like giant plot of land, and they did it every year for like a few years. Wyatt and I only went in 2014 because my aunt gave me for my graduation gift a ticket for me and a friend to go down and stay with her in Portland for a weekend. I was like, who am I going to bring to Portland? I got to bring Wyatt. We got to do a Bender and Co. tour. We're going to Portland. And so we went down and we went to this, we heard about this festival, and we found out that if you signed up to volunteer in it, you got in for free. We volunteer at the beginning of the festival, and then we volunteer the next day to help clean up, and then we get to see the whole festival for free. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, and we got a free T-shirt out of it, and everybody was super nice. We had these bracelets on that said underage, so that way we couldn't go into the beer garden and sneak booze. But I will tell you right now, there was somebody that had a flask the size of my head. Yeah.
I remember
Holy
that.
shit.
People really wanted us to drink even though we were underage. So tell me, Wyatt, how has COVID been affecting like your music or maybe your local music scene? Because you know a lot of musicians. Like, have they all been like doing live streams and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's a couple that I follow, and they're doing like live streams, like almost like every week.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And that one
So
song they
we
did,
talked about how Drake Bell was a big influence in yours, but who are some other influences you had? Like, what music did you listen to? And
oh man,
give us your top 5.
obviously the one that technically just got me into music technically is the Beatles.
Yeah. You know, I have a theory that Bob Marley or the Beatles are going to be in everybody's influences at somewhere on the list. You'll either have the Beatles or you'll have Bob Marley. That's just my theory because I've never met a musician that didn't say that as one of their influences. No matter how extensive the list is, I feel like if you go back far enough, it's on there somewhere, one of them or both. For me, it's both. For you, it's both. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Shane, what do you think? Are you influenced by the Beatles or Bob Marley at all?
I totally used to be a lot more than I am now. When I first started playing bass and everything, I was totally into trying to play like Paul McCartney and stuff.
Of course. And then you went a completely different direction.
Yeah.
And you played death metal instead.
Yeah.
So essentially you're just playing like everything from the Beatles like final album, just like really slowed down and doomy.
Heavily influenced by Helter Skelter.
Yep, of course.
Oh yeah, so what else, Wyatt? So the Beatles, Drake Bell.
Definitely Brian Setzer because I mean, come on, that man can play.
Yeah.
Like,
Wyatt is like might be the biggest rockabilly fan I know on planet Earth.
Yeah, because
rockabilly some good shit.
Like the artists that I have listened to that's in that realm of music of rockabilly, like Chuck Berry, Buddy Holly, and Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent, and obviously Elvis as well. I always loved that type of music, and technically, it was the Stray Cats was when I first heard it. I didn't know what rockabilly was until I heard Stray Cats, and then that led into to the the earlier stuff to now technically.
Right.
And also with Brian Setzer having his own band with the orchestra, and I was just listening to his first Brian Setzer orchestra album just last night, and I'm like, shit, I can't believe that this man has rockabilly with swing in a freaking 10 to 13 piece orchestra.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the only thing that is so cool about it is that he's the only one who's playing the guitar.
So you really do span every genre of music when it comes to your influences. You influence from a lot of different kinds of music, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like for me growing up it was like classic rock, rockabilly, and hard rock,
Hell yeah.
But I wasn't that much into hip hop growing up.
Got it.
Until middle school. But yeah, but there's a lot of other influencers that can go on.
If you want to get Wyatt's extensive list, you can message him on Facebook and he'll send it to you.
Oh yeah. Just go into my Facebook and I'll give you the list.
Right, exactly. So okay, let's set the scene here. You get asked to play a show and they say, and any band that you want, you can play with. It doesn't matter who it is. We'll get him on. We'll get him on the same show as you. Who's it gonna be? Who'd be your dream band?
Oh,
to do a show with.
Damn, that's a good one because
there's a lot. There is.
I would say if you're gonna do a big show, you want it to be kind of big and eclectic. My first one, even though he's dead, I would say the first one would be John Lennon.
Okay.
And the second one would be Stevie Ray Vaughan
Okay.
and Jimi Hendrix.
That's a pretty
Wow.
good
Stevie Ray
lineup,
Vaughan
though.
and Jimi Hendrix playing
Okay.
together.
That would be crazy. I have to say, if you were playing the show, Wyatt, like if I had booked a show for you and they were like, you can pick any band, I would put you with Panic at the Disco. Well, because I know you're a really big fan of Panic at the Disco, and their newer stuff is kind of more,
is good.
and it's kind of more like the music you're playing now. It's kind of that like pop sort of sound, but then they add in their own spin, which is kind of what you do.
Yeah, it's like pop mixed with hip hop,
Yeah.
like some really cool beats into there as well.
With like
some
rock,
samples.
like all three together. It's kind of, yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
I kind of, I don't know. Part of me just could see it, like you opening up for them.
That'd be cool.
Like that would be really cool because I
Be
mean, come
awesome,
on.
man.
Actually, and to be honest, I have a little man crush on Brandon Urie. So
Who doesn't have a man crush on Brandon Urie?
I mean, come on,
man.
that's a beautiful man.
You know, I always say this about, I say that same thing about Trey Cool. If like Trey Cool ever wanted to like get together with me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, let's go.
Name a
I'd
time
be
and place.
all
Let's
about
do
it.
this.
I mean, Shane, come on, man. It's Trey Cool. If he wants to make out with you, you're not gonna. I don't know if I can say no.
Same thing with Brandon Urie. If Brandon Urie wants to make out with me, I'll be like, hey, I don't fucking care. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Right? Come on. Yeah.
Come on, let's
exactly.
make a day of it. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Let's fly to Vegas. Let's have a good time. Okay.
Can't
So
threaten me with a good time.
right. All right, Wyatt. What do you think is the best show you've ever played?
Best show I've ever played.
Yep.
I would have to say Camp Showcase right after we graduated. I think that was
I
the
would
best
agree.
camp show we've
That
ever
was
had.
probably one of the best shows we've ever. Dude, I'm telling you, no, not a single person was in their seat. Everybody
Not
stood
a
up.
single one.
Like, oh my God, it was crazy. And then I remember my stepdad, John, shout out to John, drove us to the show. And on the way home, he goes, I didn't know how big you guys were at school. Because he always worked on Fridays when it was showcase. So he never got to see us perform. And he was like, I didn't realize how big you guys were in school. I'm like, I told you. You talk about like through like 2015 to 2000, probably 16 or 17. If you talked about our bands, people would freak out and go, oh my God, they're like my favorite.
That's so cool.
Yeah, no, we were like local legends in that school. I'm trying to think now. Remember that one day you and I were walking through the halls, and Zach Parnell said something to us about our music video. He was like, "How's your music video going?" We were like, "How did you know about that?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We were doing it down at Owens Beach.
yeah. God, I was in film class, and for our film class, we had to film a 3-minute video. And that was it. You could do whatever you wanted, but it had to be about 3 minutes. So me being the genius that I was, I thought, hey, Bender and Company needs a music video. I needed my homework assignment done. Let's do them at the same time.
Right on.
I think we picked the wrong guy for the job to film.
Yeah.
Only because he wanted to be in front of the camera, not behind it. I could tell. There were parts in the video where he's like, woohoo, yeah, Bailey, go Bailey. Like behind the camera, and you can't edit that out because he's filming us at the same time. So what do you think is the worst show you've ever played?
Worst one. I think it'd have to be when you were playing the drums so hard, one of the cymbals fell off.
It was awful. We couldn't get it. Like I kept Silas had to keep coming up on the stage. He's a friend of ours from school. He kept trying to put back on the cymbal every time. Like every time he had to go up and put back on the cymbal. It was hilarious.
And I think we only had that one little mosh pit, and everybody else was just sitting down. And also, I don't remember, but I was actually looking at that video.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't hear me sing.
I can't hear you sing at all. I could hear you sing on stage because I'm right next to you, but I don't know if everybody off stage could hear you. I don't know how loud it was.
Yeah.
We never did an official like sound check. Because I know Derek and Zach said we were supposed to do a sound check. We never did get up on stage and sound check.
Because I remember that day there was so many other applicants on that showcase.
And I was lucky enough to play because there was already another band playing that same day that needed the drums. So they were just like, okay, yeah, we'll just bring up the drums once. We don't need to, it's not like we're just bringing up for you. There's already another act. Because that was sort of the thing is like they wouldn't allow a band to play unless there was another band playing or somebody else that needed the drums. Because it was a lot to bring up a whole drum kit up, and they made it a rule that if you're going to bring up the drums, you have to bring them up yourself. We're not going to provide someone to bring them up for you.
Huh.
So we'd all go get a slice of pizza from Abella's, and in return, they'd help us carry the drums up. That's how it worked.
Yeah,
It's how we
I
bribed
remember that.
Alex into helping. How we bribed the other Alex into helping. It's how we bribed Caitlin into helping. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Pizza goes a long way.
Oh God, I would love some pizza right now.
So you've mentioned singing, you've mentioned playing the guitar and the xylophone. Do you play like any more instruments?
I can kind of play the piano, but I'm not that great at it though.
All right.
Why? You
And
remember the time when we were in Portland? You know what I'm talking about with the piano? We
trying to
were in
remember.
downtown Portland, and this lady started this project, and it was where she would it was the pink piano project, and she would put pink pianos up, grand pianos,
Yeah.
all over Portland, Oregon, for people to just play.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
was the whole thing. And we found one day. We were walking around, and we found one of them, and Wyatt sat down and started playing the piano. I don't know if he knew what he was playing. He was just kind of making them a song. But we had a crowd of like 30 people watching Wyatt play this piano, like pounding away on nonsense. And then I
awesome.
playing the piano in high school, sort of. So then I got up and started playing the piano, and then there were like 5 people. And you know what? That's relevant to my career today. The first band plays and there's 50 people, then I show up and everybody's like, nope, not gonna do it. Everyone outside, we're just gonna go have a smoke break.
There was one show at the Hive that Sanatorium Hill played. It was a benefit, and it was Sanatorium Hill and Ghost Teeth, which is another local like folk punk band, and like 4 or 5 rappers. And Ghost Teeth started the show, and then it was like 3 rappers. Like Ghost Teeth had a pretty like decent crowd, and then like all the rappers had like huge crowds, and then we went up to play, and there was nobody in that basement.
I was gonna
like
say
they all left, so we just like started playing our set and just walked upstairs to the living room and just like kept going. We were like, all right, we'll come to you then. Fuck it.
Right? That's how you have to do it sometimes.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Like people were looking at us like we're fucking stupid.
Right.
We played so hard though, my hand cramped up, and I was just like screaming and shit.
Oh damn.
Oh, it was so good.
That's
They invited
hilarious.
us back, so I guess we did something right.
And when they invited you back, that might have been one of the best shows I've ever seen you guys play.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on like live streaming? You think it's good? You think it's bad? Like, what do you think about the live streams going on during COVID?
I think, to be honest, I think it's good because I would say it's because artists like who have fans, like they still want to perform. They still want to perform for their fans.
Right.
And I definitely get that. It sounds like you're playing for yourself, technically.
Yeah, it's practicing, but your mistakes are being broadcasted to the
the
world.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, I think that shows that hey, we're all human. We all make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Right. There you go. So I also know, Wyatt, you are starting your own podcast pretty soon.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, man. Plug it in.
The podcast is called Film Nostalgia because it's based on the movies that we've all grown up to watch, and
it's you and Alex doing it, right?
Alex is going to be a co-host with me.
Hell yeah!
And,
are you gonna just do movies, or are you gonna have like guests on it as well?
We'll have guests if there's like a movie buff out there. Be really cool.
We'll plug you in, man. We'll post it up so people can go listen to you because we're all about cross-pollination over here.
Yeah.
So you post our stuff, we'll post your stuff. I want to thank you, man, for coming on this podcast. Like, this is really cool because, like I said, you and I have been friends since like 2011, I think. So like it's been a long time. Old school friends, man. Craziness.
Yeah, man.
Here is a song Wyatt sent in for this episode entitled Roses. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Local Listens. If you want to find links to the Bender and Company song Beach Party they talk about throughout the episode, you can find a link to that in the description as well. Next week's guests are members of the Tacoma folk metal band Siren's Reign. Hope you tune in next time and have a great and music-filled week.
We met around the holidays, even though we're a few miles away. Got in touch, you say you've had a ride. Fortunately, I'm here for you. One day I'll be on the porch, on my knees, ready for your love. Here I am, I'm on my knees. Here I am, with a bouquet of roses. We talked every night on the phone, both waiting for each other's touch. The coldest chills to my spine, and I just wanna ask you, will you be mine? I got a ring right here for you, and this is me asking you to be my wife.